This video is on solving proportions part 2. Recall in part 1 that we learned the giant 1 method. So here we have this proportion, 3/8 times what equals n over 32. And the giant 1 method, we were looking for multiples. And 32 is a multiple of 8. We would multiply 8 times 4 to get 32. So to make our giant 1, we would put a 4 in the numerator and go 3 times 4, and so the missing number that we solve for is equal to 12. But what about a proportion like this? Now, this proportion, we don't have a multiple because 12 does not multiply into 18. Well, if that's the case, I always encourage students, try to reduce the fraction and maybe you'll get a multiple. So here, 15 over 18, I can reduce that by dividing out a 3. And this will reduce to 5 over 6. Aha! Now I do have a multiple of 6, which is 12, and now I could use the giant 1 method. So if I had that giant 1 there, okay, I could multiply by 2 and by 2. And so I would get x equals 10. All right, let's try another one. In this example, 20 does not multiply evenly into 30. Therefore, let's try reducing 8 over 20. Well, if I divide by 2, 8 over 20 will reduce to 4 over 10. And now I can see that I do have a proportion that would allow me to use the giant 1 method. I would go 10 times 3 is equal to 30, so 4 times 3 would equal 12. All right, you try this one. Pause your video, then restart it to check your answer. Welcome back from pausing the video. So 27 does not multiply evenly into 36. So let's try reducing 9 over 27. Let's divide by 9. This will reduce to 1 over 3. All right, so now we have a proportion that would allow us to use the giant 1 method. 3 does multiply evenly into 36. It multiplies 12 times. So the numerator would be 1 times 12. So we get x equals 12. So how'd you do? All right, here's another example. 28 does not go evenly into 32. Pause your video, try reducing the fraction and using the giant 1 method. Welcome back from pausing the video. Let's reduce 24 over 32. Let's divide by 8. So this will reduce to 3/4. All right, now I have a proportion where I could use the giant 1 method. Now, I don't actually have the giant 1 written in, so let me go ahead and just draw it in. All right, so we're going to multiply 4 times 7 is 28. So 3 times 7 would equal 21. How'd you do on that one? Okay, great. Okay, let's try one more example. Try pausing the video, solve this for n, and then restart your video. Welcome back from pausing the video. Let's try reducing 48 over 56. If we divide 48 and 56 by, let's say, 8, this will reduce to 6 over 7. All right, now we have a proportion where we can use the giant 1 method. Again, I don't have the giant 1 paste it in there. So let's go ahead and just draw it in. Okay, so I got my giant 1. I would multiply 7 times 20. That equals 140. So 6 times 20 would equal n, which is 120. Okay, how'd you do? Remember, read some books.